running back room, are there any names that we would write in SHARPIE to be on the roster next year? And, I mean, honestly,
SHARPIE. Permanent marker.
I think Audric Estime is one I would put there.
It's a 5th-round pick, dude. Well, I know you're buddies with Ryan Harris, but you don't got that Golden Domer.
No.
You're an Indiana guy.
I enjoy ripping on Notre Dame more than I do promoting Notre Dame.
Yeah, a 5th-round pick is not a SHARPie. Sorry.
But I'm looking at the running back
wholeheartedly
room.
disagree with you.
Javonte Williams is completely
he's gone. He's gone.
I don't care if they bring back Jaleel McLaughlin. I echo what you've been saying all week. We know who he is now, and that's not good enough.
Yeah.
Tyler Bidet was a fun story, but if it were going to pop, it would have popped by now.
Dude, I love Blake Watson, but that's hey, you couldn't get on the field. See ya.
But I'm kind of looking at it as like, all right, are we really going to completely start over if there's 0 by the time we get to March, whatever the date is?
Okay, I misspoke. Raheem Mostert didn't play last year. In 2023, he had the 1,000 yards. So, Kev, double-check me on that. Thank you. Dude, if they got a guy that didn't play last year in Raheem Mostert because he was hurt, and he was on this roster for $3 million, he would be the best running back they have. Think about that.
I know.
A guy that didn't play in 2024 would be the best running back on the roster. So the answer is no.
Well, I'll try to use like some Sean Payton thinking to help my point a little bit, which is scary that I have to do this. Has he made his mind up? We said it, either good or bad. Sean usually gives you a couple of years to show who you are one way or the other. He did it for Jerry Jeudy, and that was the wrong side of the coin. He's done it for Courtland Sutton. That's probably going to make Courtland some money here coming up in the next 3 or 4 weeks. With Audric Estime, you're right, it's a 5th-round pick. That doesn't guarantee you anything in the NFL world. But I don't know that Sean Payton, to me, isn't a guy that says, I pull the plug on a player after 1 year. Unless that guy's Russell Wilson. But other than that
big one, not really. I just...
You know what I'm saying, though? Like, he's giving benefit of the doubt to some guys that even we...
He needs to... Kev?
That was close, dude.
I know.
Holy cow.
He needs to flip and stop. That's what he needs to do. Why are you giving benefit of the doubt to the guys that can't play? You know, and I'll disagree with you on the Audric Estime thing. It's like, dude, he's a 5th-round pick. There's no guarantees in this world. There's no guarantees.
Of the guys in the room, though, do you think he would be the one to survive, or is it your dude Blake Watson?
Yeah. I think it's Blake Watson. If he says we need an elite receiver who plays running back or tight end, Blake Watson is a converted wide receiver.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he can run routes, he can catch the ball, and he's got speed, the fastest 10-yard split. And you see what Bucky Irvin did with the Bucs. On 44% of the snaps, he had 1,500 all-purpose yards. Only 2 backs 2 years ago in college football caught 50 passes. Bucky Irvin and Blake Watson. You can't tell me Blake Watson couldn't be Irving-like. I'm not saying 1,500 yards, don't at me, bro. But he would be the only one, and I don't feel comfortable for that. And I act like Blake Watson's agent. And I don't feel comfortable putting him in SHARPIE. I think the answer is simply no. None of these guys are safe. None of these guys should be safe. And if Sean is given the benefit of the doubt, that kind of makes me mad. Like, not big mad, bro, but like, why? What? You give benefit of the doubt to, and yes, he did it with Jerry. Why? Jerry Jeudy's naturally talented. Maybe he needs to focus on football more than Instagram, but he's naturally talented.
He's the biggest baby on the planet. He's the most immature football player I've ever been around in my life. You know how long it took me to figure that out? One interaction.
Yeah.
And Sean gave him 2 years.
Yeah.
With teams asking for this player for 3rd and 4th round draft.
Now, wide receiver does take 3 years to develop, mostly. Not everyone's Brian Thomas or whatever. So you give that time. Running back needs to make an immediate impact. You have a 5th-round running back, an Audric Estime, that couldn't beat out Javonte Williams, who can't play anymore. That's just it. That's it. You can paint it any way you like. Oh, give him time, and at Notre Dame is like that's gone. That's gone.
Mm-hmm.
All of that's gone. So you have to look at it and go, this whole room could be replaced.
Okay. I mean, look, if that's what we're going on, the whole room, I'm not sold on Audric Estime. I was just looking at it as like, if one of the guys is going to return, it's the dude that hasn't. Now, he hasn't shown anything, but he's got, of the group, maybe outside of Blake Watson, the least opportunity to prove themselves.
Okay, there's another way to do this other than SHARPIE. Hey, Kev, would you stand on the table for any of these running backs?
That are on the Broncos right now?
Yeah. Would you
No.
stand on the table and be like, we got to keep this guy?
Nope. Because there's 4 or 5 guys in the draft that can start right now that are better than them.
And
Would
I
you
wouldn't do
stand
that
on the
either.
table for
No.
any of these
No, I
backs?
would
Then
not.
there's your answer, right?
Yeah.
There's your answer. Who out there is George Payton going to stand on the table for Audric Estime with the fumbling problems?
No, he's not. Not as a 5th rounder. 3rd rounder, he might do that.
You know what Howie Roseman does besides get pelted with a beer?
Yeah, that's going
Is
around
that
the internet
right?
right now.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I guess there's
He's
a
got
reason.
an imprint of like a can.
Yeah, like the
on his
bottom,
head.
like half
like
circle thing.
gash, like stitches, bro.
Well, just like we've said before, there's a reason we talk about sports and aren't professionals. Same thing for Howie. Get your hands up, homeboy. How's that thing hit you right in the face?
It's a beer. It's cold. It's frosty. Maybe a little slick, right? I bet he had his hands up.
He had the diamond.
Thumbs together
Yeah,
above
yeah.
your chest, pinkies together below your chest.
Sure.
So he had his hands up, and then the cold, probably like a Coors Light, right? Just
Yeah.
cold mountain, just blew on a can, and bam, bam, right in the face.
He's definitely going to have a case of the Mondays.
He's going to need to ice down his yarbles.
Do you feel bad if you're the fan that hit him, or is it kind of like a badge of honor?
It's a badge of honor.
Yeah,
And if you're
I thought
Howie
so.
Roseman, I don't even get the stitches, bro. I just have that scar. What's that? We won the Super Bowl. I got decked with a Coors Light. Done. But you know what Howie Roseman does when he makes a mistake?
Washes his hands.
Washes his flipping hands.
Yeah.
They drafted Jalen Reagor instead of Justin Jefferson. They got rid of him in a year. In the first round, they got rid of him in a year. The Jerry Jeudy, Jerry, waiting on to Jerry. No, Chiba, huh? You can't play? See ya, Pollyanna. That's what Howie Roseman does. I want George to have a little of that Howie, and even if it takes George Payton getting a Coors Light to the head, I want George Payton to have them trophies, man.
Okay.
You got to get that by what? You don't sit on, and we took him in the 5th round. I don't care. He fumbled the ball. He couldn't beat out Javonte Williams. You are not guaranteed anything. I hope we see a completely different Audric Estime this year. Because if we don't, bye.
Yeah.
Bye, Felicia.
Well, I would tell you that then. Yeah, when we get down to Broncos Park, powered by Common Spirit in late July and early August, and he doesn't look any different, see you later.
Dude, he fumbles once
See
in
you
practice.
later.
I'm cutting him.
I'm with you. 100% with you. Good text here from, didn't throw your name on it, but it's the 720-218 texter. Listening to Bob Martin and Larry Zimmer.
Wow.
Broadcast Broncos games did it for me. They were the masters at making you feel like you were watching the Broncos game in your own backyard. That is a great text. And that is something that I know it matters to you. I know it matters to Kevin. The broadcasters. I said it before when we were talking about Hubie Brown. You know who taught me basketball? My father and Hubie Brown.
Wow.
Watching him call
Wow.
basketball games. And that text, that's what it is. They become somebody sitting in your living room with you describing the action. And as a young man trying to figure out what the hell's going on the television, they literally teach you the game. That's what Hubie did for me. That's a good text, man.